The New York Knicks will play arguably their biggest game of the season on Wednesday night when they host the Miami Heat, and there is a lot on the line for the Knicks with 7 games left in the regular season. So let's talk about it. You see him right here. It's Jonathan Macri, the dean of Knicks Film School, who joins me now. John, what's up?
What's going on, Dexter? I think, like everybody else out there in New York who's a Knicks fan, you woke up this morning feeling a little bit some extra in the air with this game we got coming up tonight.
Yeah, look, it's always good when you have meaningful games late in the season. That matters, and the Knicks have a very meaningful game tonight. So, John, the Knicks, they righted the ship, smacking the Rockets the other night to end the 3-game skid. They have a 3-game lead on Miami right now for the 5th spot, 2 games up on the Nets. Is Wednesday night's game against Miami truly the biggest game of the season?
You know, it's weird, Dexter, because on one hand, you could look at it and say, as you just did, 3-game lead, it's not a must win. They could lose this game. They could even actually afford to lose another one, perhaps to Cleveland in a couple nights, and still secure themselves not only a playoff spot, but the 5 seed. All that being said, given the combination of how this is the Miami Heat, which is, needless to say, a long-time rivalry, and it is the team that is chasing you, and I just think the exclamation point it would put on what has been a very successful season for the Knicks to go into your home building where you have not necessarily had a great year and kind of end this thing now against the Heat team that has obviously had some nice playoff runs in recent years. I think that would be very meaningful for where this team is at. And so, yeah, absolutely. I think it's the most meaningful game this year and honestly the most meaningful game they've had in at least a decade.
Yeah, I was actually going to say that. I wasn't even going to take it that far. This could be even longer than this year. You're saying the most meaningful game that they've had within a decade, and
regular season game.
Regular season game, yes.
Yes.
Not regular season, not postseason. So definitely the meaningfulness on that in the regular season. Now back to Monday night. Immanuel Quickley dropped a career-high 40 points against the Rockets. Is his development this season the biggest bright spot on the Knicks roster?
You know, it's funny. I was talking to Chris Herring on my pod yesterday, and I asked him a similar question about what stands out for you most this season. And I gave him Immanuel Quickley's development as one of the options. And I actually think I'm going to go with what he said, which is that I think for as great as it has been, and for as much as he quickly has gone from a player who was kind of thought of as a role player, and now it's like, oh, is he a star in the making? I think when you get 2 players on your roster who you're really not sure of their ceilings, I'm talking about Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson. One of them looks like they're going to make an All-NBA team. Another one, I think, certainly has an argument. The guard spot is tougher. But I think when you have 2 players on your roster that ascend to that level, I would put them as kind of 1 and 1A, but I would put Quickley's development into what he's become, like right there, a sliver behind, Jalen and Julius.
All right, there you go. Jalen and Julius is the biggest bright spots on the team. Now, to Wednesday night's game. There's no word as of yet when we're doing this recording if Jalen Brunson will play against the Heat. What are the keys to the Knicks coming up with a big victory over the rival Heat on Wednesday night with or without Jalen Brunson?
So, I like to bring the stats. I got a couple for you. For one, I think in terms of something the Knicks could do, and this is not something that they like to do because they are one of the slowest teams in the league, but the Miami Heat don't want to play a fast game. They're actually 1-6 in games this year where the pace is a 101 or higher in the game. So I think if the Knicks can selectively, speed the ball up the court, which is something that Immanuel Quickley certainly likes to do and Jalen Brunson can do here and there, I think that would be a good thing. And then just keep them off the boards. The Heat this season are 15-4 when they get 46 or more rebounds. And in particular, when Jimmy Butler gets 10 or more rebounds, they are 8-1. So he is someone that hurt them certainly on the boards in the last game that they played. You got to box out Jimmy. I know that's as tough a task as there is in the NBA, but if you could keep that guy off the glass, I think you got a pretty good chance.
All right, control the pace, keep the Heat off the glass. Those are keys to the Knicks getting a victory over the Heat on Wednesday night. We will see if they can do that. Could be a 2-game swing for the Knicks if they get the win. So a very important game for the Knickerbockers on Wednesday night. He brought the stats. I know he's excited about this matchup. That is Jonathan Macri of Knicks Film School. Always good breaking down Knickerbocker basketball. Jonathan, always good to talk to you. Enjoy the game. We will talk soon.
As always, the pleasure is mine. Let's hope for a good result.
Hoping for that. Thank you.